Hi guys, I'm Kayla. We're here to talk about the June quarantine kits.
And I'm Jared.
And he's going to help me show you guys how to do acrylic pouring. So let's get started.
Look at the packaging. I like that. It's a nice sticker.
So if you open up your boxes, you'll find one canvas. You guys actually have one of these large 10 by 10 inch canvases. Jared and I have an extra canvas because we're going to show you guys a few different techniques to use when you're acrylic pouring. So you've got your canvas, you've got plastic to put down because we are really going to get messy this time.
I like getting messy.
Alright, so you've also got a couple of plastic cups. You've got one bottle of white paint. You've got 3 bottles of colored paint. You've got a paintbrush as well as a handful of popsicle sticks. And then you've got this nice little package wrapped in bubble wrap, and that comes with a few different things. You've got the 2 largest containers that you have are Floetrol. They're labeled FLO on the top. That's what's in here. And what this is a latex-based pouring medium. You've also got a small container of silicone oil, which is what that looks like. And you've got another small container of metallic paint.
What was in this one?
That's silicone oil.
Silicone oil.
That one's marked with an S, and then your metallic paint is marked with an N.
Don't go trying to inject that silicone oil.
Okay, we're actually going to utilize our boxes to set the canvases up on. I should back this up. So I'm actually going to rip one of mine off. And you can do the same if you want, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm just going to do what you do.
We're ripping the flap of our box off because we're going to use it later. And then take your box, turn it upside down, and set your canvas on it. Okay, so we're going to start mixing our paints. So if you want to open those up, oh shit, these are always wrapped like this. Yep. Okay, so we're going to start mixing our paints, and you're welcome to use the colors that come straight out of the bottle. You're also welcome to mix colors if you'd like, but that has to be your first step. Before you add the Floetrol and the silicone oil, decide what colors you really want to use. I'm going to use, I think, just straight out of the tube colors. What about you? Are you going to mix your colors at all?
I think maybe.
I might put a little bit of this green and the yellow.
So you're utilizing 4 of the cups? Is that?
Yeah,
do we need another cup for something else?
Yeah, you'll want 4 of the cups. You'll want at least 3 colors and white in order for this pouring. I'm actually pouring about half the bottle into each cup. Each of these bottles are 2 ounces, so if you're pouring half of that in the cup, you're about 1 ounce. And that's important because
That's a nice noise. I like the noise.
Our flowing medium or our pouring medium to paint ratio should be a 1-to-2 ratio. Um, and we'll talk a little bit more about that and its relationship to silicone oil. But first I want to talk a little bit about the concept of pouring.
It's a little bit different of a square, isn't it?
I'm cutting all of this out.
What?
I want to talk a little bit about the concept of pouring. So what this Floetrol does, the latex-based pouring medium does, is it allows for the paint to become really smooth, and it also allows for the paint to be put together without it mixing. So the colors each keep their integrity. The silicone oil, as you probably know, oil and water don't mix. This latex-based and the acrylic paint are both water-based. So the more silicone we add to each color, the more it's going to reject the colors around it and make those big cells like you see in a lot of acrylic pouring. I've got a little bit of turquoise in my yellow, and I'm just going to mix that up with one of my popsicle sticks to make this nice.
There was never a
lime
popsicle
green.
on these.
No, there was not. That's what I'd say. So once that is nice and mixed, then we can go ahead and actually add our Floetrol. So like I said, you've got 2 containers of Floetrol. The largest one is 2 ounces. The smaller one is a little over 1.5. And since we have about 1 ounce of paint in each of these cups, we're going to want about a 1/2 ounce of Floetrol in each. You'll have a lot left over, but that's totally okay, because if you have something at home like a jewelry box or anything really that's got a flat surface, you can use your leftover materials to do an acrylic pour on that. So we are going to divide this large 2 ounce cup of Floetrol evenly amongst our 4 cups. And if you really want to measure this out, you can, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It's really actually a little bit better if it's not, because it makes some of the paints a little heavier than others. They react to the paints around them differently because of that. So just eyeballing is really okay. It definitely doesn't have to be perfect.
Good, because I think I put way too much in the red.
The more important aspect of your pour is actually going to be the silicone oil. Yeah, so next we're going to take the silicone oil, the smaller jar of clear liquid, label with an S. Open that up really carefully.
That was a 5.
Thanks. And you really only need a few drops of each in this, but you can add as many as you want. Like I said, the more silicone oil you have, the larger cells you have. So I'm going to put actually quite a bit in this lighter color. And
Kind of pours weird.
yeah, it does pour. It doesn't necessarily drop out, but
It goes off that bottom.
yeah. The only color that I would suggest you put less silicone oil in is the white. And
But you're still putting some in there?
yeah, I'm putting like 3 or 4 drops in there. And that's because we're going to start out putting the white around the edges, so if there's too much silicone oil in it, it'll actually start to push the colors of your painting inward, and then your entire edge is gone, and it's all white. It doesn't look as nice in my
Did you use all your silicone oil?
No.
Well, let me stop.
Yeah, so I didn't use all the silicone oil. I definitely have about half left. But it's okay if you use use a lot, it's fine.
Gonna put more paint there.
So you can take one of your popsicle sticks, one popsicle stick for each color, and mix these together. And it's really important that you don't like fold in as you mix. You should just swirl.
What do you mean by fold in?
Like don't like pick it up and like fold.
Oh,
You know what I
like
mean?
go turn
Yeah.
it over.
Yeah, don't turn it over because you'll get air bubbles popped. Or you'll get air bubbles trapped inside the paint and then they will appear in your painting.
So you're just doing
So
a little stir the pot motion the whole time.
Yeah. Like circles with the wrist.
Whip it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Jasmine, hi. So do that about until your paint actually looks just like it did when it came out of the tube. Maybe a little bit lighter, a little bit almost frothier. Hi, honey. Look, we got a visitor.
Hello there, Jasmine. Jasmine is the cat that nobody ever sees. Well, we see her, but when
She's
people come
afraid of
over,
everything but us. Once you've done this a couple times, you can actually start to feel the difference in the density of the liquid as you're mixing it, and so you kind of get an idea of, oh, maybe I should add a little bit more Floetrol. Like this blue is pretty thick, so I think I'm gonna add some more Floetrol.
wow. Taking out the big gulp, huh?
I feel like that made it lighter. I want to borrow some of your purple. Oh no,
I
I
wanna
can't
borrow-
do that anymore.
Why can't you? Teach him, educate. Why can't you put the purple in there anymore?
Well, I mean, I guess I could.
There is really no rules in art.
I don't know. Let's try it.
We're gonna try it.
I don't know if it'll actually mix it or if it will, like,
Just be around in it.
okay. I'm gonna add some more silicone to this one too. Just for fun.
I want to start pouring.
Okay. Okay. So take your white first off and use your popsicle stick to spread white around the edges. So we're kind of like prepping the canvas for the pour. It'll make it a lot easier for the colors once you pour them in the middle to get all the way to the edges. Then you can kind of just pour it over too. It doesn't have to be perfect.
What is perfect for those perfectionists, you know, like me?
Like, it doesn't even have to cover the edges, it's just needs to be around to help a little bit.
Play a little Red Rover with it.
Sure. And then
So which color are we sending over first?
we're gonna
That's my canvas.
we're gonna prep our small canvases too really quickly.
So I'm prepping yours and you're prepping mine. I got
Sure,
you.
yeah.
Now, is it okay to eat
No,
any of the
it's
Floetrol?
not. It's not
Or
okay to
silicone?
eat. Please don't eat any of this or ingest anything that you got in
It
your
looks
box
like frosting!
at all. Okay, I actually think we're gonna probably want more of this white for our pour. So I'm gonna add more to the cup of everything. I'm gonna add more white paint, more Floetrol, and more silicone oil to the white. I think I've actually about used all the white.
Is it just mine that sounds like that, I guess?
And now that we've primed our edges, you can actually add a little bit more silicone oil to the white than we previously had. Okay. Alright, you're going to take we're each going to take one empty cup, and we are going to start layering all of our colors inside one cup.
Leaving some still in the cups? Or you just want to put them all in there?
No, we put them all in there.
Just don't just,
Yeah.
can you just do it at the same time?
It's better to have layers,
Okay.
and the more layers, the better. And I kind of try to go back and forth between dark and light colors. Like I would consider this turquoise green probably a like medium level color, but then the blue and then the white, and then I think I'll do the blue again and then the yellow. And everybody actually got different colors.
You putting the white in there, you said?
Yeah, you can put the white in. I wanted you guys to be able to display a really wide variation, even though with this kind of practice, the paint really does the work for you. You've got only so much control over how it acts, even though you do have a little. But I wanted some color variation to go along with that.
I hear a chichikins outside. Trying to get inside. Do you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to go over there.
Our house is overrun with cats because we took in a pregnant stray for the time being. But we've got 2 adorable little kittens that still need to be adopted, so if you or anybody you know wants to adopt a kitten, tell them to call us.
You gotta take both of them though, because they love each other too much.
Yeah. They're really sweet. They're the cutest little cats ever. This is kind of like a Scooby-Doo green. That's what I think of.
Is that why you wanted the purple? Yeah. You want some of that purple?
Yeah, you want some of this green?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Alright. No more.
Cool. On our 2 smaller canvases here, we are going to demonstrate a couple of different ways that you can pour your paint onto the canvas. So I'm basically going to just like make small circles with my hand, and Jared is going to use his paint and his cup to make kind of like a snake action down the canvas.
Ooh. You're doing the small one first?
Yeah, and we're not going to use all of our paint in our cups because we're going to use it for the big canvases too.
Like that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's probably good for mine. And then,
Like that?
yeah, that looks great. So set your cup aside, and then you can actually pick up your canvas and tilt it so that the paint starts to run, and then that's when you really start to see those cells appear from underneath layers and layers of paint. I'm actually going to let mine drip onto my smaller canvas, or my bigger canvas. this is definitely, like I said, gonna get messy. You want your paint to really reach over the edges, and sometimes that can take a while for it to move, but trust me, it'll get there. You want to make sure that you don't leave your paint too thick. It can cause cracking in the drying process, so you might be here holding this a while, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It actually is a good indication that your pour is going
Not so poorly.
not so poorly. Mine kind of looks like a rock formation with trippy colors. Ooh. Something you can always do if you feel like, well, this is my corner over here. If you feel like your paint isn't exactly moving as quickly as you want it to, take a little bit of paint on one of your popsicle sticks and just kind of spread it. Alright, so I've used my popsicle stick to get all the way around the edges, and my pour isn't exactly moving anymore, so I think it's at a good stopping point. So I'm just going to set it back down. And you can leave it like this if you'd like. Something you can also do is use this small jar of metallic paint with your one paintbrush, and you can actually do this wet or dry. If you do it dry, you can blend it a little bit more. If you do it wet, the metallic paint will actually sit on top of your acrylic pour. So I'm just gonna put in a couple little stripes of metallic paint. Okay, so we're going to move on to our large canvases so we can show you guys my favorite pouring technique, probably because it's the messiest. But we are going to take these flaps of cardboard that we ripped off of our box. We're going to, well, you can probably fold it in half. This is yeah, fold it in half, place it on top of your cup, flip your cup upside down, set it on your canvas, and quickly pull the cardboard out. Then from there, you can lift up on your cup.
Wasn't as messy as I thought it was going to be. Teasing me with a good time.
Oh, just wait. We're not done yet. And then do the same thing. You just lift up your canvas and tilt it so that it covers up all these. I'm actually gonna use some more of my colors to wrap around this canvas so I can have plenty. It's not illegal to pour two colors or just pour one of your colors over the top. If you feel like your pour is missing one of your colors that you wish was a little bit more prevalent, sometimes those appear in like lower layers, but sometimes they don't, and you just need to work them in. Ooh, that's a good idea. So Jared's using the box that got paint dripped on it, holding it over his canvas and letting those drip on, and it's making some really cool cells.
starting to look like a planet or a moon of a planet. We'll call it J-Moon.
So I don't think I put enough white around my canvases,
Me neither.
but that's okay because I'm just using my extra colors and my popsicle stick to add some paint to the edges and move it around. I think I'm gonna add some metallic to this too. But I'm just gonna drizzle it in here. Okay, so now that you've got your pour where you want it, you've added metallic if you wanted, you're going to want to leave these in a stable temperature room to dry. Not very cold, not very warm, because that can also cause cracking. Your canvases might actually take a few days to dry, so if you've got curious cats like we do that like to walk on things, make sure you hide them from those little feline friends. And otherwise, once it's dry, if you want to add some more metallic, go right ahead. Don't forget to wash your brushes in soap and water, and we'll see you next month.